Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Monday, February the 26th, 2024. Monday, February 26th. Well, I'm going to get the boring stuff out the way. Curtis and Drew meet at the gym. Drew, Curtis asked Drew, to be his little workout partner. First workout at the gym since his surgery. Even though, look, Drew was the one doing all the workout, all the punching, everything else, and talking to Curtis. And Curtis let him know, you know, because he goes, how Carly is upset that he wants revenge on Nina and blah, blah, blah. And Curtis says, look, I don't blame you. After what Nina did to you and Carly, he says, look, yes, Nina and I are friends, but I absolutely do not agree with what she did. Absolutely not. So he goes, it's understandable that you would be angry and upset. So they were talking and talking it out, and he was talking about how it took him almost a year, but him and Portia were able to work their way back to each other, and he's glad they kept at it, kept putting in the work, until they could get to where they're at today. So Drew was happy for him, but look, I fast forwarded most of their conversation. Then we had Sonny goes to see Spinelli. Maxie, since it's been weird since the kiss, and she's pretty much been avoiding him. And she's running out the door. Had the kids up early. Apparently, Georgie or James had to be at school early for some reason, but she made sure those kids were up, dressed, quiet. Spinelli didn't even know they left. But she had to run back in the house because Georgie forgot her lunch, her little lunch bag. And he goes, if I didn't know any better, I would think you were avoiding me. She goes, Spinelli, no, I'm not avoiding you. Got a very busy morning. The kids are already in the car. Georgie left this again. I've got to, I got to find it, her lunchbox. And she found it. And Sonny came. And she said, hi, Sonny, how are you? He goes, hey, Maxine, blah, blah, blah. And then Maxie runs out. She goes, look, I got to go. The kids are in the car. So Sonny's like, yeah, I heard you're here. And he's like, what's going on? And at the end, he asked him about that. And he goes, oh, there was a plumbing problem at my apartment. So Sonny says, look, here's the deal. I'll have my contractor over there. He'll have you fixed in by the end of this week. And he goes, no, actually, that's a made up story. I'm here to help Maxie during her financial troubles. And Sonny looked at him like, oh, he goes, that's a really nice thing to do. And he goes, why don't you just tell Maxie? And Spinelli's like, yeah, well, yeah, I'll take that under advisement. He should have said that's because with her pride, she never would have let me do it. This was just a way I could make sure it got done. But anyway, Sonny didn't care that much. He was just making small talk. So Maxie ends up coming back after she drops the kids are all at school. She has a little time before she has to go to work. And she goes, Sonny's gone. And Spinelli's like, yeah, but Sonny, while he was there, told Spinelli he had a job for him. And Spinelli says, I thought you didn't like you. You really preferred not to be around me. He goes, yeah, I was in. He said, but Jason always vouched for you. And he always told me that he trusted you with his life. And that goes a long way for me. So anyway, he goes, this job, and Spinelli says, look, my involvement with Stone Cold is what, ultimately led to the demise of my marriage with Ellie. He says, I don't want this to put my family or anyone in this house in danger. And Sonny says, no, this assignment's got very minimal danger. Your family will be protected. And in my mind, I'm thinking, he did say the operative word, everybody minimal, meaning there's some level, right? But whatever. So Spinelli, because Sonny's like, I need your answer today because you're just the first person that's on my list. And he goes, well, don't you already have someone that does that? He goes, I've got to start out. He goes, due to security problems in my organization, I have to start outsourcing some things. And you're the first person that I've come to. So Spinelli was like, he ended up telling him, of course, yeah, he would do it, which we all knew Spinelli was going to do it. I definitely knew that. Um, so we also have, let's see, John Cates. He comes into Kelly's. Carly is there. Her waitress is running late. So she's there serving folks. I have no idea if she plans on going back to Crimson or not, but she looked like she's back at her restaurant. And so he says, you own the place. Why are you serving customers? She goes, because my waitress is running late and I don't mind. So she goes, okay, so you're back again. You're from out of town. And so she's questioning him. Okay, you're here on business. He goes, what do you do for a living? And he goes, I'm an FBI agent. So she looked at him. She says, oh, now I see. Mhm. Now I see. You're here trying to get information out of me about my ex-husband. He says, I am not here trying to get information from you regarding Sonny Corinthos. I am not. He says, and for the record, when I first came here to Kelly's, a week ago, he says, I did not know you were Sonny Corinthos' ex-wife. And she's like, yeah, sure you didn't. Sure you didn't. And he goes, no, it's the truth. She goes, yeah, every FBI agent that comes, their main goal is always trying to build a case against Sonny. And most of them try to come through me. She goes, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. My attorney's name is Diane. What is Diane's last name? Why can't I think of it? You all know Diane's last name. It has completely just out of my mind. Miller. Oh my goodness. Why could I not think of Killer Miller? Right? Diane Miller. She goes, look her up on the internet. You have any questions for me? Go through her. And he goes, I'm not here to build a case against Sonny. I'm here to protect Sonny. And Cardi's like, yeah, sure you are. Right? Sure you're here to protect Sonny. And he goes, there's been 3 head of organized crime organizations killed. Oh, let's make that 4. And Carly is looking. She goes, Olivia Jerome. He said, yes. And Sonny is a target. And she looked and he goes, oh, I would have thought Sonny would have told you that. And she's just looking. And so he said something else, and then he was clamming up. She goes, oh, wait. She goes, is my family in danger? And he says, the targets have not been the bosses' families. It's been them, the mob bosses themselves. And so he goes, but that's all I can say. She goes, oh, you were very talkative a minute ago. Now you got to clam up. So anyway, she pretty much let him know she ain't the one. He didn't come here by accident. She respects Sonny. And he goes, even though you know who he is, she goes, especially since I know who he is. Right? And he just looked at her. So she says, and by the way, this coffee you came in here because you love so much, she says, that's Corinthos coffee. And she turned and she walked away. Carly was Carly. So Kate leaves, and then the last scene, Drew, because he was talking to Curtis, and he got some clarity as to, what, does he want revenge or does he want to get on with his life? Does he want a meaningful life? Blah, blah, blah. So when he finished, he told Curtis, I know exactly what I got to do. And he showed up at Kelly's, the last scene. He's just looking at her and she's looking at him because she was pissed. And she wrinkled up Kate's receipt. And I'm thinking, girl, why you wrinkle that up? You need that for your records, right? Look, the money ain't on the receipt, but she needs it for her records because he wrote on the back, I'm sorry I upset you. And so she goes, I am sick and tired of being overlooked or ignored or something, she said. And she thought about, a conversation she had with Drew. And she thought about, that Sonny didn't even tell her this. And it's important, which is the interesting thing is Sonny usually tells her everything. They are definitely, when it comes to danger, she always knows. He tells her. So anyway, she throws the receipt, tries to hit the trash, and that's when she looks up and Drew is there. And I did look, because somebody made a comment in comment corner. Why do they have Drew looking so scruffy? He is normally clean shaven. And I looked at him standing there and I thought, oh, goodness, they do need to shave him up. He does not look good like that at all. So we'll see what they talk about tomorrow. But the next interesting thing was Christina and Blaze, their afterglow in their night in Blaze's hotel room. And Blaze was watching her sleep. And she ends up ordering them breakfast. And she says she's going to take a shower while breakfast is going to, be delivered. So Christina is looking at the ultrasound of the baby on her phone. And then she hears the key to the door or the key card, beep, beep. And she's thinking, what, huh? And the door just opens and it's, I forget her name. I want to call her Maria because that's who she was forever. And I forgot she did say what her name was that the friends call her, but I didn't write it down because I didn't care. And Eva, was it Eva Longoria? I think that's who whatever. Maria. Maria walks in the door and she looks at Christina in the bed and Christina sits up like, oh, right? And she says, what are you doing in my daughter's bed? And Christina, she jumps up and she puts the little robe to the room on. And she comes over to her. She goes, you must be Blaze's mother, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, answer the question. And no, she goes, I'm Christina Corinthos. And she puts her hand out to meet her and she just looks at her. Now, what is her name? Eva LaRue? Eva LaRue. She normally, she's always been a beautiful woman. She's had way too much plastic surgery. Oh my goodness. I never really talk about attributes because, we all got our own thing. Look, please. I have freckles. Come on now. Allergy time, got a little puffiness, right here. Anyway, I said, oh my God. She can't even move. She could barely move her lips when she's talking. And absolutely none of her face moves. None of her muscles move. It's like she's a porcelain doll. And I was like, oh my God, you've had too much work done. What happened to your lips? Where are they? And so anyway, I was like, yikes. So Blaze is coming out the bathroom with towel over her head saying, hey, our food should be here and then we can. And Chrissy's like, look who's here. And she looked, mommy, what are you doing here? And so she goes, what is she doing here? And Blaze looks at her mother, and Christina looks at Blaze, and Christina says, "Oh, no, we had a girls' night out and we were out way too late. Blaze let me crash here last night." And Blaze looked at her like, "You told that lie?" Or, "I don't know if I want a lie told here, right?" And so her mother says, "That's just like, goodness, I forgot Blaze's real name. Um, she's, has got a good heart or whatever." And so Christina says, "Oh, I'm gonna get dressed." And or Christina comes the next scene, Christina comes out the back room and she's dressed. And Blaze says, "Chrissy, our breakfast has arrived." And she says, "No, look, I've got things I have to do. Your mother has been traveling. I'm sure you and her can enjoy my breakfast." So she goes, "I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave." And so she looks at her mother and she goes, "Mommy, Christina is building a shelter." And she was getting ready to keep talking, and her mother just looked up. "I look what I brought. I brought you these shoes and from Puerto Rico." And Blaze looked like, "Well, you just cut me off. You just didn't hear a word I said, right?" And so she puts them in her hands and she goes, "Thank you, mommy, but are these vegan?" And she looked at Blaze and she says, "What does that matter?" And Blaze says, "It has mattered to me for a long time. I have told you this." "No, you haven't." She goes, "Yes, I have. You just don't listen." And so then Christina's looking like she's trying to get out of there, right? She's at the door almost, she's putting her coat on. And so Blaze is like, "You don't have to go." She goes, "No, nah, you know what? I'm good. I'll see you later." And so uh, Maria goes to her bag and she said, "Look what I smuggled. Your abuela's, your abuela's some kind of custard, coconut custard." And by the way, I hate coconut. Oh my God, I can't stand coconut. And so Blaze says, "Mommy, thank you, but you did not have to go through this trouble. You know I don't like coconut." And she's like, "Since when do you not like coconut?" "Yes, you do." She goes, "No, I don't. I don't like coconut." And Christina says, "Oh, she doesn't like the texture of coconut." And Maria looked at Christina and she said, what did she tell her? "I know all about my daughter." And Christina's like, "Fine." Because, Christina has Alexis for a mother. Christina is no odds to being at odds, right? Christina's like, "Okay." So she's get almost at the door, and Blaze says, "Chrissy, I need you to stay. I need you here for this." And so Christina looks at her like, uh-oh. So she puts her purse down and she takes off her coat and she looks at her mother. Christina's walking around her mother to go by her side. And she says, "No, mommy, you don't know all about me. You don't know a lot about me. I, she goes, I haven't told you everything about me." She says, "And Christina lied for me." And she goes, "What would she need to lie for you about? Are you in trouble? Did you get in some kind of trouble?" She goes, "No." And then she says, "Christina and I are more than friends." And her mother looks at her like, "Wait a minute, wait." Wait, hold on. And they cut the scene there. So tomorrow it'll pick up as to what her reaction. And Blaze is going to have to finish that sentence, right? So that was interesting. They chose to get it out in the open right now. Now, unless she goes more than friends and we're business partners, something stupid. You know how they do that. You think they're gonna tell the truth and then they throw in something else. But I think she's gonna tell her mother the truth because her mother doesn't listen to her at all. And she goes, "And how did you get in my room anyway?" And she goes, "Well, I reserved a room or whatever she said. I just got him to give me the key early." And I'm thinking, well, did you reserve it to stay with her? What's the deal with that? Right? So anyway, now we got Nina. Nina comes into Ava's gallery. Ava's trying to wrap things up, and because she's got an appointment, and then Nina just comes in. Oh, I just blah, 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 and Ava goes, "Ooh, are you okay?" No, no. Sonny has blocked me. He's not returning any of my calls. He's not answering any of my texts. And Ava goes, okay, well, Nina, I'm kind of busy. I'm finishing up because I have an appointment. And she goes, oh, okay. Like I see, I can't come to you with a problem. You're supposed to be my. She goes, look, okay, look, Nina. I have a little bit of time. Okay, what's happened? Something must have happened. Sonny served me with divorce papers without even a conversation. And Ava looked at her. She goes, ooh. Mm. But you kind of was expecting that, right? Ava, Ava's getting comfortable living at Sonny's place. So Nina says, not no, I wasn't expecting it without a conversation from him. Now, while Nina's talking to Ava, that's when Sonny was talking to Spinelli, right? So she says, this is where you come in. And Ava said, wait, hold up. She goes, I need you to get me and arrange it so that me and Sonny are in the same place and can't be interrupted. And Ava says, wait a minute, Nina, wait a minute. Sonny and our relationship is delicate. And Nina looked at her. She goes, since when do you have a relationship with Sonny? And Ava looked at her. She goes, uh, since we share Avery? And then Nina kind of went like, oh, okay. She goes, and we have been able to coexist in the same place. I don't need to rock the boat. Because remember, Nina, Sonny has full custody of Avery. I only have visitation. So I don't want to do nothing to make him enforce that. And Nina said, but look, if I could just talk to him, if I could just get him in the same room. And then she goes, how long are you going to be living with Sonny anyway? And Ava says, no, Ava got delivered papers. Spoon Island sold. Somebody bought it. It's a developer, allegedly. Bought Spoon Island. And she's like, ooh, finally over this. And the only person who cared about Spoon Island was Spencer. And unfortunately, now that he's gone, woo, we got to get rid of this. And I'm so happy it's gone. I got a nice little nest egg in the bank. And so Nina says, so what are you getting ready to do? You getting ready to look for a place for you and Avery? And Ava goes, eventually. And Nina looked at her. She goes, how long are you going to be living with Sonny? And Ava says, well, as long as he wants me there. She says, Sonny won't let me leave. So I honestly don't know how long I'm going to be there. And Ava's kind of like, and I'm okay with that. You can tell she's okay with it. And Nina's kind of just looking at her. And then that's when she's, but if I could just talk to him, he, could just talk to me face to face. She almost said, like a man. And at that time, Sonny is walking in and she didn't know. So Ava could see him walking in. And so he goes, well, I'm here now. What do you have to say? And Nina's eyes got big and she turned around. Sonny. She gets this, oh, Sonny, look like, oh, I'm so in it, Sonny. Now, if it would be Drew and Carly, watch out, because I'm coming for you. A whole different look on her face, whole different persona, which is what he now doesn't trust. And so she goes, he goes, are you ready, Ava? And so she turned and she looked at Ava and she goes, is this who your appointment was with? And she goes, yeah, pretty much. And so she goes, yeah, let me just get my coat. And so Ava says, Sonny, please, can you spare me 1 hour? You owe me, just spare me 1 hour. That's all I'm asking. So Ava comes from the back room and she goes, okay, I'm ready, Sonny. And Sonny says, take the car, go to the school. I guess the Avery had something. He goes, send the car back for me. I will try to make it to the school in time. And so Ava says, okay, Sonny, I will. So she leaves. And he turns and he looks at Nina like, now talk. And she's, yeah, yeah, Nina. So tomorrow will be the groveling of Nina tomorrow. Well, that's it for the daily recap of General Hospital Comment Corner. Oh my goodness, you all have done a phenomenal job with Comment Corner today. 84 comments from Friday's episode. 84. That is like a high. I think one of my all-time highs. So keep it going. I mean, there's no way even 10 minutes will do the 84 justice. You all go in and read Comment Corner. If you haven't commented on somebody else's comment or made your own comment, do so, do so. Hey, let's let that episode of Comment Corner reach 100 comments. Now that's going to be something. So I'll be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital.